Hello, welcome to Stretch and Relax. So what I would like to do in this combination today is bring in a feeling of grounding, how to ground yourself. And so that can mean many different things to all of you. But a basic idea that I want to feel is grounding as calming. Calming your body, your mind, and your body, your breath slowing down. And you can see what else comes up with that idea of grounding. And so within the stretches, what I feel like I'm doing with all of them is feeling the connection down to the earth. Okay, kind of trying to sink more deeply into the ground a little bit. And notice all the areas that touch in as I offer you different stretches. And I definitely want to, I'm thinking about a wonderful leg stretch that's going to use the scarf. Okay, so you have your strap of whatever sort that you have. I'm having that around. So at the end, towards the end, we will get into the legs really well with that. But there's a couple different ideas. I also am going to reach over here, and I chose an oil called rosemary oil today. And really awesome essential oil. It's a pretty sharp scent though, so you have to like that kind of thing or be ready for it. What I discovered about this is one that really wakes up your senses. And I love the plant rosemary. That's why I was kind of thinking grounding, rosemary kind of came in. But this is one, if you're trying to go back into studying after, you need to do some focused work. The rosemary will kind of wake up your senses, okay? And so a combination of that calm feeling with a little waking up of the body. How about that? I got my pillow. I want my really big thick pillow today because when we're in seated, we want to feel that our body is comfortable. All right, so the first stretch that I want to do, I love how I do this. I'm like, Have you noticed that? What to do next? Okay, so the first stretch I want to do is the figure four. And I'm going to use the strap, but I'm going to make sure that you are reminded of all the ways, 3 ways, that you can do the figure four today in case you want to choose a different one. Okay, so first one, some people, not as many I've noticed, like this seated, and sometimes I do too. I'm not going to do that one myself today, so you can just take your time and seated on both legs. You might also roll to your back, and without the strap, just hold on to your legs. You'd cross one over, and you'd reach through the center, and usually around this thigh, and you can just hold it there, okay? But what I'm going to do is take the strap. So you're starting to choose which figure four, because what I really want to do is just open up the outer hips and give them a good stretch as we slow down our breathing. So I'm going to do it with a strap. I'm going to hook that little four in there like that and bring my way down. So finding your figure four, setting yourself up into that. And this will open up the hips, and then when we come back to seated position, your hips should be a little more relaxed and able to sink into the ground a little bit better. So here in this wonderful stretch, in this very deep stretch, begin to focus a little more on your breathing. Practice a few really full deep breaths. Let the breath change the space inside your body. Allow the breath to calm your senses a little bit. And so with any of your positions you're in for the figure four, you could do this, but it works a little bit better with the strap. I'm going to start to move it around. I'm going to move that four away from me and then draw it gently towards me. And I could use my breath with that. Inhale away. Exhale as I draw it in. I'm going to do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. And I'm going to find somewhere in the middle where it's not too intense, but it's pretty intense. And then I rock it side to side a little bit. And take another deep breath into that. And now I want to feel a circle within this stretch. Good. So if you're in a different position, you would just move around, whatever makes sense for you. So I'm circling around, deep breath as I go. And then taking it the other way. And taking that deep breath again. Just relaxing into it a little more, settling into just a sweet, natural, soft breath. Good. And now you're ready to switch sides. And so if you feel like you want to, you could roll all the way up. I'm going to switch on my back. I'm just going to hook the other foot in and change my figure four leg. But take your time. So make the transitions, the slow, beautiful transitions from one stretch to the next. Make sure they're part of your practice. Take your time. Feeling this side, noticing the difference. Breathe softly into it. And I'm going to feel a little movement here. I'm going to press that four away from me, kind of releasing the intensity of the stretch, and then gently draw it towards me, bringing it in deeper to that stretch. What about with your breath? Inhale away. Exhale, draw it in. A couple more of those. Now pushing it somewhere in the middle, I'm just going to rock it gently side to side. Feel how your lower back is touching into the ground and how it rolls through that little area of your spine. Deep breath there. And now feeling into a circle. So I'm going to take it one direction and just circle it around, noticing how it touches into the ground, creating a little circle on the ground, and then taking it the other way. Deep breath as you go. And then holding it a little longer, relaxing into it a little longer. Just let your breath be soft and easy. Close your eyes, let your breath come as natural as it does. Give it a little smile of respect as it breathes into your body. And then when you're all done with this four, you release it out, and you could use the strap, if it happens to be on, and roll your way up to seated. So we're going to meet up and seated. And put our strap aside for now. We'll use it again at the end for that leg stretch I was thinking about. And I'm going to take a moment in butterfly. And maybe for this butterfly, my feet come a little closer. I'm going to reach out and grab my pillow. So this is where I want the extra padding. So I'm going to turn it sideways so you can see why. When I sit up on the pillow, my back will, let me get up there. My back will tip a little bit more forward. Okay, instead of curling like this, you'll be lifted and maybe let your body tip forward. So you can get as many blankets or whatever until you find this lift and tip forward. And then I bring my feet in a little bit and move into possibly an inner thigh stretch. Whether it's here, some people are here, a few of you might be lower into that inner thigh. But practicing that lifted spine that reaches forward. And so that calming feel, that calming sensation, just noticing what your body is saying to you. Maybe close your eyes. And notice how your breath does its own thing. It doesn't need you to do anything with it. It breathes your body. So sometimes we just need to stop and respect and notice that. welcome to stay in butterfly. I'm going to go into cross-legged now, and I want to move into the upper body. So here's where I want to create a stable, strong lower body and a very lifted torso here. So you got to check out if cross-legged is right for you. Notice how the pillow feels. Okay, so now right here in your core muscles, I want you to practice drawing them in just a little bit, just kind of drawing in softly. So that strength, and then you notice that move down into your hips. Strength is sinking down into the ground. So with whatever position you chose for your legs, now the top of your head, out of that strength, lifts to the sky. How tall can you be? So a lot of words for this really simple sit tall position. All right, arms reach out. Let me keep moving with you. Deep breath here. Wiggle your fingers. Draw the shoulders back. And do 4 circles back. So they're little circles. You're just kind of taking it back like that. And deep breath as you go. Easing into those shoulders. Getting them to move back and down. Nice. So now with your body really sinking down into the earth, you're going to reach up to the sky. Inhale, reaching up. And then exhale, bring it down. So this familiar sunrise, but really making it a whole new stretch, like you've never done it before. Inhale, reach. Exhale. And I'll do one more of those with you. Reaching for the sky. Good. And bringing it down. And we'll keep this a little longer because I want to do the circles forward now. So now you take your arms and you do little circles forward. Deep breath as you go. And then bring it down, bring it down. Nice. Tip your head to your right. Let the shoulders sink down, sink down. Fingers touch into the ground. With your head tipping, you might move it around slightly, maybe turning your nose down, noticing what you feel. Down the side of your neck, possibly down the arm toward the fingers to the ground. Nice. Then bring that up, center, and tip to the second side. Carefully feel into that side. You might close your eyes and really notice everything that touches down to the earth. And then lift up. Good. We're going to do that again, but now your hand and your arm is going to add in. Solid with your right hand, your head tips, and you reach on over into that tip. You can move your head slightly. Deep breath. So I'm really feeling this hand on the floor. My fingers are spread. Reaching long, side body, all the way down to that other hip. That would probably be your left hip. Good. Keeping this side, you're going to inhale up and exhale over, reach. So really sweet and simple, but noticing what you're doing. Center out. And your head will tip to the other side as the hand comes down solid. And the arm, you get it, reaches on over. Deep breath. Lengthen. Lengthen through that side body. So this hand on the ground, I'm using it. It is pressing my other hip down and it's deepening my stretch. Staying on this side, I want to inhale up and then exhale, reach it on over. Perfect. And then ease on out of that. All right, we get to move on now. So I'm going to come to hands and knees and start to move into the spine. So I'm moving stuff aside for the moment, coming to hands and knees, and noticing everything that touches into the ground. Spread your fingers wide. Feel your toes on the ground. Make sure your knees are happy and padded if they need to be. And you begin to move into your spine, releasing down so your spine is like a valley, and then curling it up into a mountain. So you want to really feel, imagine the valley of the spine, and curl up into the beautiful mountain. So you could bring your own imagery into it. Close your eyes and picture a beautiful valley. And then curl up and notice the mountain that you want to climb. And so going back and forth between these, bring in your breath, bring in some sweet intention. And just also taking care of your lower back, your spine with this movement. So good for you. And then centering it out, you're going to sink back into a really deep child's pose. So your knees might be wide, they might be close, and you let your hips fall back and the arms reach. And your head can fall down between your arms. Okay, and everyone's child's pose can end up looking different. Your arms could be back closer, but letting your forehead possibly come down, or you stack your hands. But take about 3 deep breaths here in child's pose, sinking into the ground. Staying here, I'm going to suggest one idea is into a diagonal child's pose, and let your hips fall the other way and your head bows through. And then centering it and switching to the second side. And then centering out, move your hands back. Now I'm going to come down onto our stomach and get our body to lengthen, and we're going to really open the shoulder, okay? So when you come down, you take a moment to feel lengthen. So let's do a little forearm sphinx position like this, lengthen. And I'm going to show the open shoulder stretch again. I've done it before in another video. And so if you want to watch, I'm going to add on. So you can just hang out here, do your little back bend for a moment while you watch. And see what I'm thinking? So I'm going to reach an arm straight towards you like that. And the first part, you've got to drop your head and relax your neck when you go into it, okay? So I drop and I roll the hips up. So the add-on is the leg if you want, like that, okay? It doesn't have to, but you could. A second add-on is to lift and let it fall open. So I'm going to go into it with you again if you haven't yet. So reaching the arms straight out, you take it step by step, please. So you roll your hips up, checking that out, relax your head and neck. And then maybe bend the top leg and it opens it up a little more. And if you really want, you reach the arm up and let that arm fall open. But keep in mind, you don't have to do it all. The shoulder is opening quite a bit here. And then you want to gently ease off of that side. Switching arms, the other one goes straight out, and please step by step. So you drop your head and neck down, first important part. And then maybe you're like, let me see, and you bend the leg. Notice that. Possibly, if your shoulder is feeling okay and you are curious about this one, you then lift the arm up. And maybe, okay, if you're really flexible and open, be careful that it doesn't fall too far back. It's just not necessary to do that much. You want a little shoulder connection. Deep breath here. So really beautiful, open those shoulders. I love the step by step. You know, you take your arm out, okay, take the leg out, rolling off, keeping yourself calm by feeling step by step sometimes. So I'm going to bring us back into child's pose so we can kind of transition to the last deep stretch. So make your way back. Take a little moment or longer if you like in child's pose, stretching long, extending the spine. And then I use that to bring the hands back and press my body up. Good. All right, the last important stretch, the one I want to share with you. And you can come out of this one at any time. I'm going to take you through quite a few ideas with it. And join in whatever you want and leave out what you don't need. Okay, so you lay down. I'll try to explain well in case you're not looking at me. You could turn your body sideways so you can peek my way. It's up to you. So you hook the strap on, choose your first foot, and you hook it on probably more around the ball of your foot. Okay, if that feels okay. And your other leg might be bent. I'm going to extend it long in a bit, but I'm going to start off with mine bent. Good. So just holding there. And you'll notice this is going to open up the heel and the calf. Take a deep breath there. Now what if we go a little bend and straighten here? Just kind of waking up, introducing yourself to your hamstring. Hello. And practicing that a couple times. So now I go a little straighter, and mine really the knee does stay bent. I don't go that straight because it's going to hook in. It hooks in right there behind the knee. Feel that deep stretch. Noticing that. Now your other leg could stay bent right now. Totally could. I'm going to feel what it's like to straighten that leg now and flex that foot down there and press this leg down a little bit. So now eyesight probably should be up towards your toes, but you're going to begin to circle that leg around. So I'm using my hands on my strap to kind of guide that leg into some circles. You might play with small. You might see what it feels like to make them a little bit bigger. And just really gently draw yourself through those spots that are a little tighter, a little harder to move through. Now take it the other way if you haven't. Deep breath into this one from time to time. So sometimes your breath is just coming and going as it does. A soft, sweet breath that's always coming, and you notice that. And then it's cool to remind yourself, okay, let me take a really deep breath into this moment and add that in, really noticing. All right, so after a few circles, we're going to go into a deep twist. So I'm going to release it a little bit. And my leg here is long, and I take the straps into the opposite hand. I go for a knee bend to help this one. I'm going to guide the leg across as my other arm opens out. Okay, so it's going to go pretty deep. See how far it wants to go, and your head is gently going to turn up, and then a little bit, not too much, the other way. So stay with that for 2 or 3 breaths. And then you're ready to guide it back to the top. And you switch hands. Now I want you to notice the leg on the ground, either bent or long, either way. You're going to keep that leg pretty solid as you slowly open this leg out into the inner thigh. Eyesight is best up. Shoulders are settling back evenly, so you're grounded through your body as you open into that inner thigh. Feel the back of your head gently dropping into the ground. Notice that for a moment. Awesome. And then bend the knee and guide that back up. Perfect. Ready for your second side? So you just switch off with the feet. And I'm going to start off with the other leg bent at first. And notice now into the heel and the calf. Very good area to open when you're thinking of grounding. Heel, calf. This will help you touch into the earth better as you walk around after this. So a little bend and straighten, soft breath into what you're doing. Perfect. Now we're going to practice some circles. Okay. So you guide it around. What about your other leg? Do you want it to be long and straight or bent? And you start to circle it around, feeling out the space of the hip area. Noticing the different little parts of your leg. Take it both directions with that circle. It's a really nice one to take your time with, this little combination of leg stretches. And when you're ready, you're going to think about that twist. Okay, so I like to bend my knee and I begin to guide it across as I open this arm towards you. My eyesight's now facing the right direction. So twist across. Whew. See if you can relax into this combination of deep twist. Leg stretch, ooh, shoulder opener if you wish. And then bend your knee and guide it back to the top. Here's the last one. I'm going to check with the leg on the ground and make sure that one's really pressing down for this one. You want your hip and leg to be solid so it supports you as you open this leg out. Eyesight up. Deep breath here. So with this, notice of course the leg that's opening up, but also very important is the leg that's long and straight on the ground. All right, now bend your knee and back up to the top. Bend both knees and use that now to roll your way up. Cool. And so the legs so nicely stretched out, I feel like doing a little more with you. Okay, so I'm going to stick with you a little longer. I was going to end it with that, but I want to come back to the upper body. So I'm going to set you up in a seated tall, and we're going to do movement for the upper body to finish up. I'm going to put one more song on. So set yourself up and seated. I usually don't lead you during a video, but who cares, huh? Okay, here I am. So seated tall, now your legs might be feeling extra wonderful, I'm hoping. And your hands come out, just like we did in the beginning. You're going to inhale, reach for the sky. So feeling that centered, grounded feeling in your hips, and reach up out of it and down. It's nice to feel the difference from when we started to maybe what you're feeling now. I always hope as I make these videos that you practice them 2 times at least, okay? 2 times, because the first time you're kind of checking it out, like what's Kristen teaching, what is she offering? And then the second time you're more ready to kind of take it in and make it yours, okay? So now with this centering of your body, feel that. You're going to open the heart. So hands to your chest. Inhale, open back. And exhale, curl. Inhale, draw it back. And exhale, curl. And then one more of those. Inhale, open. And exhale. And now centering it out, let your arms come down. And we're going to go do our side bend. So you take your right hand, and I want you to really press it down so you feel this pressing down. And reach up, and then over to that side. Wiggle your fingers slightly. Some of you might have a flexibility where you can come down to your forearm. I don't like to put my lower back into that position right now, so I'm not going to example that, but you're welcome to. So inhale up on this side, and then exhale over. We're going to go into the curl and sweep. So I'm going to inhale up, exhale, curl. And then slowly sweep it open, inhale. And then exhale, curl. So curl it through again. And then one more time, inhale, open up. Exhale, center it out. Good. So feel the connection down, again, reminding you. Bring your hand and then reach to your second side. Deep breath here. Deciding if you want to go lower. Your body wants to practice that. Good. I'm going to use this hand on the floor and inhale up and then exhale back over. And now the curl and sweep. So I use this inhale right here and then exhale, curl through. And then inhale, sweep it on open. Exhale, curling through. Inhale, open up. Exhale, curl it all the way through. Inhale, open it up. And then exhale, center it out. And you got it. Okay, just a little bit more. We're going to let the hands relax into the lap. You could be in butterfly too. I'm going to switch my feet just for fun. Have a little different position. And let the head drop down the center. Let the head of your weight, the weight of your head gently draw down. And begin to roll into your neck, into your head turns here. Inhale up, exhale it down. Follow your breath, inhaling, lifting. Exhale, you get the idea. Take a little time noticing into your neck. Down the center. Make sure you finished off because you can roll your neck all the way until we're finished. The last stretch I'm going to do is just but anyway, using this butterfly to stretch forward as far as you want to go. Sometimes when the feet are closer, it's harder to go further. It depends on your flexibility here. Just make it yours and reaching forward. You can stay with that. I'm going to say goodbye and thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I hope you feel a little more calm.